SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, we play another game, otherwise known as don't listen to what carriers say, watch what they do. This one is going to be important, so check this out, right? Verizon has become one of the most promotionally active carriers in the industry. In some ways, offering more than even AT&T, more than even T-Mobile, often viewed as the uncarrier in the years past. And Verizon's always appeared as this premium, ultra premium carrier. And, you know, their deals are average at best, right? But last year, and even this year, they have some of the richest promotions within the industry, even outdoing their competitors, which is a different place that we expect from Verizon. But the thing about Verizon is, for the last few years, they have been kind of down with respect to subscriber numbers. They've been down with respect to the perception that they're not as premium as they once were with respect to the network. Does the customer even care? You know, T-Mobile has enjoyed a lot of growth and now gets a little bit of that premium upsell. AT&T has enjoyed a renaissance since 2020 in their wireless growth. Previous years, it was very subdued and quiet. And Verizon was kind of on the back burner. And, you know, a lot of investors pulled money out of Verizon, seeing a lack of growth or a lack of revenue growth or whatever the case may be. So Verizon's kind of been on their heels. They seem to have fixed certain metrics within the company, and people are more positive on the company now. But it's interesting to see that Verizon continues to tell us from investor conference to investor conference, they want to be the premium carrier with respect to the premium customer, right? They don't want to grow without having margins and profits, right? They don't want to grow at the expense of those, the profitability numbers, right? So they don't want the cheapskate customer only, right? They'll do that through their prepaid brands. They'll do that through, you know, cable competing that way. But when it comes to their brand, they want customers that have value, right? And this is proof of that. They're very active in their promotions currently. I was looking at some of the deals. You guys can check out some of these for different like iPhones, Pixels. They're not even requiring trade-ins on some of these deals. They're basically telling people just come here, get your lines of service, and we'll give you free iPhone 16s, right? Put you on a 3-year installment, and you know they sell you on like the unlimited plus plan or whatever. Not even requiring a phone trade-in. And then with respect to the trade-in values, they're giving some of the best in the industry, right? They're giving you up to $1,000 in some cases. I think $800 is the standard, $830. So they're covering the cost of iPhones and Galaxies and all those things. And not to mention, you know, if you're willing to switch, you know, for your home broadband, they got Xboxes, you know, they got speakers, they got like all this stuff. Don't get me wrong, as a consumer, you're loving this, right? The way to get all these new gifts, you know, it's the holiday season. This is all wonderful and perfect for the consumer. But this is a case of don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. Like Verizon has told us they want profitable, you know, sales. They want to grow, but with customers that are willing to give up the margins. Well, I'm not sure how good your margins are when you're giving away Xboxes, brand new phones, even without a trade-in, right? There's no value in that. Like you're essentially saying, we're willing to make just a little bit of money on service after 3 years. So as a consumer, from a consumer standpoint, you're like, oh, this is fantastic. This is great. I'll mess with Verizon, getting these great deals on these devices. So nobody's complaining in that aspect. But we're being told a story from the CEO and all of these people over at Verizon talking about profits and margins. So how does this work? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really align. So this is another case study in watch what they do, don't listen to what they say. Because what they'll tell you is that they really are focused on margins. I don't know. You're promotionally the most active carrier, even offering in some ways more than AT&T, in some ways more than T-Mobile. The consumer will gladly take it. In fact, the consumer, you should celebrate this and take advantage of these deals. And maybe Verizon starts to pull back on these, you know, in the first of the year. But this could be a sign, and it could be an indication that maybe the sales for Q4 weren't going to be what Verizon was insinuating. Maybe they weren't going to be as good as they thought they were going to be, and in order to meet those metrics, they had to kick it up a notch. I don't have any problem with that. The consumer wins. And to be honest with you, Verizon could use a bit of a new identity. Maybe they should be a little bit promotionally active. Maybe they should get the customer thinking about Verizon, saying, you know what, the service is good, a little costly, a little bit more expensive than AT&T and T-Mobile, but they gave me the best deals on my phones, and I got a ton of new phones and Xboxes. They're going to be who I mess with now, and I'm looking for these deals in the future too. Maybe that's an identity they take on, right? And they are getting, $80, $90 for a line of service, right? You do that over 36 months, those are good numbers, right? Verizon does have the highest ARPU per line in the industry, and it's not even close, right? It is substantially ahead of AT&T's by almost 10%. It is much further along than AT&T's, probably closer to like 15%. So maybe they do have that wiggle room with these promotions because they do get more money for their services. We'll see what the numbers look like at the end of the quarter. We'll see what the executives have to say about the promotions when they're asked about it at the earnings in January. And of course, we'll have all the numbers from the holiday season. So customers rejoice, take advantage of these deals. Verizon, we see what you're doing. We're not blind, right? We'll take a look at the numbers and see how things go. And who knows, maybe if they weren't this promotionally active, they wouldn't hit their metrics. And then maybe the investor would start to capitulate again because we're being sold on these numbers and on this turnaround and this upsell. Maybe they wouldn't be able to do it without these promotions. Something I think worth discussing. Interested to hear what you guys have to say on it. Drop me a line in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and we'll see you soon on the next video. Peace.